Welcome to the But First Bible Daily Devotional Podcast with Dave Myers. Our readings for today are Ezra chapters 1 and 2 and John chapter 19 verse 23 to 42. Well, we've just started the book of Ezra in the Old Testament and are just about to start the book of Acts in the New Testament. So this is the perfect time to get back into reading if you've fallen behind. Now, to help find our bearings in the book of Ezra, I'm going to read some of the introduction from the Global Study Bible, which is available for free at esv.org. Author and date. The book of Ezra never declares its author, and the book's contents make it difficult to determine when it was written. Ezra 1 to 6 recounts events that occurred long before Ezra's time. Ezra 7 through 9 clearly comes from Ezra's own hand, since it is written in the first person, and Ezra 7, 1 to 26 and chapter 10, verse 1 to 44 describe events in Ezra's time but are written in the third person. It is possible Ezra may have combined the other materials with his autobiographical writings to form the book, or a later historian may have collected all the portions to describe Israelite history from about 538 to 433 BC. Many scholars believe that the same author wrote Ezra, Nehemiah, and 1 and 2 Chronicles. In ancient times, Ezra and Nehemiah were counted as one book. The events narrated in Ezra and Nehemiah occur over a century. Ezra 1 to 6 covers 538 to 515 BC, and then Ezra 7 to Nehemiah 13 covers 458 to 433 BC. Theme. The theme of Ezra is faithfulness to the Lord, both in keeping the Mosaic law, chapter 7, verse 6, and in worship. Because of his concern about worship, Ezra stresses the importance of rebuilding the temple. Purpose, occasion, and background. As the people return from exile to Babylon in the Promised Land, they are under threat from the non-Jews living there. Having been driven from the land previously because of their sin, they also need to learn once again how to live in covenant with God. The land must be restored through the physical presence of God's people, and the people must revive a spiritual commitment to serve God alone. As the temple is rebuilt and more exiles come back to the land, the people start to re-establish the nation that God had promised Abraham. As the priests return and begin to teach the people how to love God and live according to his ways, the people recommit themselves to the Lord. The book of Ezra encourages the post-exilic community toward pure worship and holy behavior. Ezra calls the people back to covenant loyalty and obedience to the Mosaic law. The book rejoices in God's provision in returning them to the land, rebuilding the temple, and calling his people back to himself. The book also warns against falling away again through sin and against serving other gods. The remnant of Israel should persevere in hope, repent in humility, and live in obedience. Find out more about the book of Ezra through the Global Study Bible, available for free at esv.org. Until tomorrow, keep trusting Jesus.